Well, hello there and welcome to issue 127, and this issue is all about the Cancerian horse, and as you can see on the caption prior to the video, those are all the dates you have to be in to be in this Western Eastern astrological combination. Any questions, any comments, messages, don't hesitate to get in touch or leave any of your remarks. They're all welcome, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, and anything else you want to get involved in the video, that's fantastic. Okay, let's start with the Cancerian horse. Now this is a real tricky one, for we have the horse as a child who is very bright, very fantastic poise, very proud, is very self-assured, and then we have the Cancerian who is quietly wanting to go about their business, doesn't like the limelight, likes to just keep their head down, and is quite an emotional child. So they try to avoid any sensitive contact or issues, and they really don't like conflicts. But whereas the horse never shies away, so what really happens is, well, you're going to get a bit of a box of tricks. One week you may have a shy child at school, and the teacher might go, well, been really quiet this week, done their work fine, but they didn't really interact, or very shy, very timid. The following week it's like a completely different pupil coming into class. They're very buoyant, they're funny, they're talkative, they're very bubbly, they've got a thirst to learn, they've got a thirst to sort of like be slightly unpredictable as well, and making people laugh and really sort of like saying, here I am, and you'll find this is a pattern with this child going all the way through to the senior school, to the college years, to the university years, because they will realise that university is very important, and the horse loves to learn, and the horse is very skillful, so it will find what it wants to do, fantastic at engineering, and very good at manufacturing, really great with small parts as well, anything that takes a lot of technical, computer based as well, putting them together, stuff like that, and they will really enjoy it, so they have that thirst for learning before they take on a vital apprenticeship. And this is really what follows the Cancerian horse about. One day it will be exactly the same story. They have their real quiet days where they're very introverted, they question themselves a lot, they really question their self-confidence, and then the following day is boom, it's like a completely different person, renewed energy, bouncing in, look at me, very vibrant, and friends and people are really attracted to them because they have such a beam and such a radiating such positivity that people want to be near them. And then it can be complete gloom the following day, or very introverted nature and very sort of quiet, hold on a minute, I just want to keep myself to myself. So their friends will get to know them, and you'll get to know when they're on one of their quirky times and when they're not. But either way, you will find someone who's going to do their learning. That's going to be a must, because even when the Cancerian takes hold, they still want to be quiet, but they want to keep their head down. They want to sort of get lost inside their work, quite dreamlike, but they get the work done, and they are very tenacious. So if they set a task, they want to complete it. The horse in the mix adds the skill, so we've got quite a very skillful, tenacious person. What day we get them on, it all depends. As I say, they're going to follow in little patterns, and you'll get to know these patterns. You'll get to know when they're in a slightly eccentric mode, and when they're in a really sort of back off me mode, leave me alone, I just need my own time. And in those times, there are probably only 2 or 3 people they really allow close to them, who they really trust. In the other times when they're bounding about, they could organise a massive party and get everybody there and be the life and soul of it. So that's really what you're dealing with here. It's a real topsy-turvy one, and it's quite exhausting for them, really. They don't really know what's going on, and it is quite exhausting for them. Their emotions do drain them, their emotions do weigh heavily with them. and whereas they're very fantastic to give advice, the Cancerian horse is really, really, really good at giving advice. It's very hard for them to take advice on board because they're so changeable, and then they think, well, I might not feel like that tomorrow, so what's the point of it listening now? But then we really have to look at addressing these patterns of troughing and flowing, you know, try and get there a bit more equilibrium. And I always say, with the Cancerians on the Cancer Day, try and do something a little out of your comfort zone. Try and do something which puts you in a little slightly vulnerable area, right? But remember, you've got the hard shell, you've got the tenacity. You are a lot tougher than maybe you think you are inside, okay? The impression is that you're quite a tough cookie, but deep down, they're so tender there. So really, try and put yourself out of your comfort zone, okay, on those days when you feel introverted. But try and do something once a day which says, oh, okay, I'm out there, I'm feeling uncomfortable, and try and get a bit more of a balance going so you level up a bit. You know, you're not so down, you level it up. And on the horse days, when you're feeling as though I can take on the world, I feel crazy today, I feel as though I want to invite everybody round, try and check it back ever so slightly. Let the, you know, take hold of it and say, well, okay, let's not go too boisterous today. Let me, you know, be content inside and tell a few people, but let's not go too over the top. So it's trying to bring them valves down. Balancing that equilibrium is very, very important for this combination. We have, ultimately, when we talk about Cancerians in the early part of their adult life, chances of being promiscuous, because it's that emotive side. They're very run by their emotions. They can see an old flame and they can fall in love, and then in love again, and then in love again. Even when it might be dead and buried, they do have that dreamy vision, that dreamlike thing, like, yeah, but it might be different this time. You know, Cancers always hold on to hope. They're very tenacious, and they do really like to chip away at the emotional side of people. So, you know, we want the horse in the mix in early play. Let the horse come in, because the horse is very, very faithful, and the horse is looking for that quality. So it's going to check the Cancerian back. Let the horse take over here and say, no, I'm holding out for the right one. That's in the past, I'm going to hold out for the right one. And that's where the Cancer horse needs to be, because they're very skillful, they're capable of earning very good money, they don't waste money, whereas the horse side of them may like a quick and unpredictable spend up. Cancer doesn't let that happen, and in fact they're very, very good with money. Not to the point of being tight, but they're very watchful, and they are, you know, extremely good at budgeting. So it makes them a good prospect. And if you can deal with those slight upturns and downturns, which as they get a bit older it does die down. So maybe the Cancerian horse in their middle 20s is them at starting to hit their best sort of, you know, balance. So meeting them then, they're going to be quite well set in their life. They're going to be a good catch. They're going to be a very good find. So who is going to attract them, and who are they going to attract? Well, the best matches, this is what we look for. We look for the tigers for the horse, because the tiger, yes, they love a bit of unpredictability as well, and these two can, you know, get a little bit of interest together. And when the Cancer's on that sort of, I want to sit back, I want to keep out of the way, the tiger will bring them out and say, no, you're coming along with me, we're going to adventure together. You know, I know what you like on your good days, so we're going to go and enjoy it. And it really does, it's very therapeutic for the Cancer horse. And as I say, you're dealing with a very romantic, emotional side deep down, and that's where the tiger can benefit, for that little bit of romance and that little bit of sort of eroticism, you know, and the tiger will respond very, very well there. And plus you've got two fantastic physical specimens, you know, at the top of their game, going in, you know, into those middle 20s, into the, you know, the later 20s. It's the perfect matches for these two. So we look for the tigers, and we look for the Virgo tiger, the Scorpio tiger, the Pisces tiger, and the Taurus tiger are the best matches in the tiger family. We also have to look at dogs, because dogs, with that compassion, that caring nature, that sort of protectiveness, Okay, they can get slightly pessimistic, and but they can only get pessimistic with somebody who makes them feel like that, and the Cancer horse doesn't. Even on their step back days, they will still appreciate, somebody by their side, somebody they can talk to, somebody they really trust. And you can trust a dog. You can trust a dog with your life, because there's dedication there, dedication in a nutshell, and that's what the horse will very much respond to. So if we look for the Virgo dogs, the Scorpio dogs, the Capricorn dogs, the Taurus dogs, and also the Piscean dogs, they're the best matches of the dog family there. Very strong, and they will all really appreciate and benefit from each other. The ones we have to avoid are the rats. The rats do love to chat, they love security, they love their home, they love to be also quite here, there and everywhere as well. So they like to be the first somewhere and come back and tell the tales, and sort of like harbour all their souvenirs and all the things they've acquired through their life and stack it up real nice. The Cancer side may quite like this, but as I say, when the horse is on a buoyant one, it unsettles the rat, and when the Cancer's on a slightly quiet one, the rat feels as though, a bit tetchy today. They're not really talking. The rat loves to chat. The rat wants to know what's going on. They want to know all about what's going on in the outside world. They want to sort of like be involved. Well, sometimes the Cancer horse doesn't feel like that. Sometimes they want to check back, keep themselves to themselves, and this is where the balance does not mix, and they end up arguing quite badly, and it gets severed really quickly. So please avoid each other here. So if it doesn't happen sooner, it will happen later. If we have to look at the health issues with the Cancerian horse, well, it's the emotional stress basically we have to look at, and so it's going to create some stomach problems, some digestive problems. So be a little bit careful here. Cancerians do really benefit from a decent diet. I mean, I know the horse likes their food, but they're very active normally. But the Cancerian is very susceptible to stomach bugs, ulcers, real damaging pains, and they can be very sensitive there. So it's watching the stomach, and when the horse is having one of his bold days, and maybe sort of going, I've one of them, you're going to pay for it. So be careful there, Cancer horse. Just keep a nice diet if possible, keep it under control. Okay, thank you for listening in, and please join me for the next one. Thank you.